Do you ever feel like you're carrying a heavy backpack of emotions, but you can't quite put your finger on why? Life throws its curveballs, and we all have our ups and downs. But have you considered the possibility that you might be grappling with emotional trauma? It's like that old riddle. When is a backpack more than just a backpack? Well, when it's full of unresolved emotions. Buckle up as we take you on a roller coaster ride through the 7 telltale signs of emotional trauma and share some tips on how to recover. But first, let's warm up those mental muscles. Have you ever wondered how emotions influence our daily lives, or why some memories seem to cling to us like chewing gum on a hot sidewalk? 1. Flashbacks, ghosts of the past revisited. Picture this. You're walking down the street, enjoying the sunshine, when suddenly you're hit by a vivid memory from years ago. You feel the weight of that moment, as if it's happening all over again. Isn't it fascinating how our minds can transport us through time in an instant? These flashbacks are like snippets of old movies playing in your head, reminding you that the past is still very much alive in your present. When these involuntary flashbacks start intruding into your life, it might be a sign that emotional trauma is lurking beneath the surface. But fear not, for understanding your triggers and learning to manage them can help you regain control. Ever wondered how our brains decide which memories to replay? 2. Numbing and avoidance, the emotional hibernation. If your emotions were a wild animal, avoidance and numbing would be the protective cave where it hides during a storm. You might find yourself steering clear of situations, places, or people that remind you of a painful event. Isn't it intriguing how we can unintentionally become experts in dodging certain aspects of life? Emotional numbness is like wearing gloves that dampen sensations, making it difficult to connect with your own feelings and those of others. Ask yourself, how does avoidance affect your growth and well-being in the long run? 3. Intense emotions, the emotional roller coaster. One moment you're laughing with friends, the next you're sobbing in the bathroom stall at work. Sound familiar? When emotional trauma takes the stage, it can turn your heart into a roller coaster ride you didn't sign up for. Isn't it curious how our emotions can twist and turn our daily experiences? Intense emotional reactions can sometimes be out of proportion to the situation at hand. Recognizing these emotional spikes and learning to manage them can help bring stability back into your life. Now pause and ponder. How can we find the balance between embracing our emotions and not letting them control us? 4. Changes in relationships, the domino effect. Ever played the game of dominoes? Just like when one tile topples into another, emotional trauma can send a ripple effect through your relationships. You might find yourself withdrawing from loved ones or pushing them away unintentionally. Isn't it fascinating how interconnected our emotional lives are with our social spheres? Trust issues and communication challenges often emerge as you grapple with the aftermath of trauma. But here's a question to ponder. How can rebuilding trust in relationships become a cornerstone of your healing journey? 5. Hyperarousal, the overactive alarm system. Imagine living with a smoke detector that goes off at the slightest whiff of toast. Exhausting, right? Well, hyperarousal is your mind's version of that. You might notice that you're always on edge, easily startled, or struggle to sleep soundly. Isn't it intriguing how our bodies and minds react to past traumas as if they're still happening? Your internal alarm system might be set to high sensitivity, but understanding these reactions can help you regain control over your emotions. Now let's explore this. How does hyperarousal impact our overall well-being and ability to navigate life's challenges? 6. Negative self-beliefs, the echo chamber. Do you sometimes feel like you're stuck in a room with a broken record playing negative thoughts on loop? Emotional trauma can often lead to a barrage of self-critical beliefs that infiltrate every corner of your mind. Isn't it curious how our thoughts can shape our perception of ourselves? From feeling unworthy to doubting your abilities, these beliefs can be suffocating. But remember, you have the power to challenge and rewrite this narrative. Consider this. How can reshaping your self-beliefs lead to a more positive and fulfilling life? 7. Physical symptoms, when emotions wear on you. Ever heard the phrase mind over matter? Well, sometimes emotional trauma can blur the line between the two. Physical symptoms like headaches, stomach aches, or even chronic pain can become your body's way of communicating that something is amiss emotionally. Isn't it fascinating how the mind-body connection can influence our health? These symptoms might seem perplexing, but understanding their underlying emotional triggers can guide you toward holistic healing. Have you thought about how addressing emotional wounds may alleviate physical ailments and contribute to overall wellness? Yes, friends, navigating emotional trauma can feel like finding your way through a dense forest. But remember, every step you take toward understanding, acceptance, and healing is a step forward. Just as a treasure map reveals hidden gems, recognizing the signs of emotional trauma is the first step on your journey to recovery. As you ponder the twists and turns of this roller coaster ride, remember, you have the power to regain control of your emotions and rewrite your story. So, as you step off this emotional roller coaster, take a moment to reflect. What's the first step you'll take on your path to healing? And as you consider your best steps towards healing, might we ask you 2 quick questions? Did you find this presentation to be informative and valuable? Do you enjoy watching videos related to dating, relationships, psychology, and personal growth? Great! Just go ahead and smash that subscribe button so you'll get early access to our next video release. You'll be glad you did. And as we bid you farewell for now, we remind you that you are absolutely fabulous, and yes, you are loved.